welcome to Sir-Kenneth's Talk Show!
Good day and welcome back to this new edition of Sir-Kenneth's Talk Show. As you can see, we're not in our usual studios today, we're out in the suburbs. Today we'll be doing a movie review on the movie Nightfall. Nightfall, I hope that's the title, yeah. Before we begin, please note to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content from Sir-Kenneth. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this movie is actually a YouTube movie. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube movies recently, and I came across one, Nightfall. It's actually a rom-com. I'm not really a rom-com guy, but I was reading on the movie. I said, okay, let me just watch the movie and see what it's about. And it stars Chidi Dike. The story is about this young guy. His name is Akil, and he's someone who is sick. He suffers from, is it leukemia or whatever, some deadly disease. He's sick and he lives with his parents, and they help whom they treat like a family member, and they eventually adopt her, by the way. So he lives with his parents, and every morning he decides he does some exercises, like he jogs around, and so one fateful morning, while he's jogging, he has some sort of no, he meets someone. A man, a grown man, and they greet each other, and they kind of like talk, and then he starts Akil starts bleeding, and once he's bleeding, the man notices that, oh, you're bleeding, let me take you home. And they're like, okay, let's go. Takes him home, and his parents, he takes Akil's parents home, and the parents are very grateful that a good Samaritan brought their son back home. And this good Samaritan actually has a daughter, and he urges his daughter to get closer to Akil, like since she's someone who is very antisociable, and he tells his daughter, go out more, meet new people and stuff like that. And so the daughter is like, okay, yes, I'm going to go out more, and I'll meet this guy you're talking about. And Akil's parents. Sorry, guys, we're in the suburbs, so this will happen very often. So Akil's parents also do the same. They are really worried about their son, telling him to not do too much, like not go out too much because he's weak and stuff like that. But they encourage him to meet new people and meet this girl as well, the girl of the guy who saved him. So his mom gets a gift for the girl and tells her and gives it to her son to go and give him. So basically their parents making them are trying to hook both of them up, their kids up. Yeah, so it's something like that. Yeah, so he actually gets closer to this girl. They meet very often. They start seeing each other more often. They start dating eventually. So there's this one time, but the funny thing is, as they get closer and they start dating, the girl's father is not really happy about it, which I thought was really funny, because he is the one who actually forced his daughter to go out and meet new people, and that when she's doing so, it becomes a problem. So I was really confused when that happened. But anyway, they start seeing each other more, they start dating more, and then Akil opens up to this girl and tells her, about his situation, how he's sick, he has leukemia, and the disease is quite deadly. So, because they go out a few times, and on one of the occasions, he starts to bleed, because he bleeds very often. He starts to bleed from his nostrils, and I think that's when he explains to the girl what's actually wrong with him, and the girl's like, okay, that's not a big deal. I'll always be here for you. I always love you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they start seeing each other more, and her father is not really happy about it. And so there's this one time Akil is at the girl's home, and they are playing a game of, I don't know, it's a game of truth or dare, I don't know. Yeah, truth or dare. And then there was a dare that he gave the girl to kiss him for 1 minute straight in her home with her father inside. How weird is that in an African home? Really, really weird. But anyway, they start to get along, and then once the girl tells her father that that Akil is actually dying, he is flabbergasted. It's like, how can you be in a relationship with a guy who is going to die very soon? Because this girl lost her mom at an early age, so and meaning that her father lost his wife, and so he knows what it means to lose someone, a spouse or someone you love so dearly, and he clearly doesn't want that for his daughter. I think that's why he's so against this relationship. But the girl is persistent, and on this guy's birthday, he's 20, turning 21 in the movie. On his birthday, they decided to do him a little surprise party. His family and the girl and the father. On that day, when they do the surprise and everything, I think he has a seizure and they rush him to the hospital, and he's like, and the doctors are like, no, he has just a very he has just very few days left, and he's soon going to die. And the doctors say that to his parents, but the parents don't tell the girl or the girl's father. And shortly after that incident, shortly after that day, I think it was a day later, Akil proposes to his girlfriend. He proposes to marry his girlfriend, and they eventually get married. They get married, mind you, he's 21, meaning the girl should be like, the same age range, like 20, 21, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, so they get married, and their parents decide to lodge them in a hotel for the girl's father decides to lodge them in a hotel for their honeymoon, which is very brave, by the way. And the boy's parents offer them a new house. He's 21-year-old, just got married. Wow, and I feel like his life was already so figured out. And unfortunately, the day uh, they're moving into their new house, Akil finally gives up the ghost and he dies. And it's really really sad that he dies. And the girl was already pregnant by then, but she didn't know, so she was pregnant. And 9 months after, she gave birth to a bouncing baby boy, and she named him after her late husband, Akil Jr. So basically, that's the plot of the story. So yeah, my thoughts on the movie. Like I said, I'm not a big rom-com guy, but the storyline, if I'm to grade like the storyline and the script and everything, uh, I will give it like a 6 on 10 for the storyline because I feel like things were happening just too fast. Like, who just meets a young man? Which grown man meets a young man randomly one morning and just tells his daughter, "Okay, go and be friends with that guy"? In real life, that shit doesn't really that it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. People don't meet their boyfriends and girlfriends through their parents. Like, that's was just the weirdest part of it. And also the fact that Akil could discuss his love life with his parents. Like, how many African homes we see kids discussing their love lives with their parents? Like, in the movie, he's 21, though Chidi Dike is a 33-year-old young man, but in the movie, he's playing a 20-year-old, 20 turned 21. And he's discussing his love life with his parents, with his mother, with his father, and it's really, really strange because I am 27, but I have never spoken about anything romantic with my parents. Like, that shit is just weird as hell. Yeah. So I don't know. That part was really kind of funny to me. And also the fact that it was just so easy how they met. He met the girl one time, and they just started talking, started going along, and then they eventually started dating, and that was his soulmate. Like, so easily. Like, people don't meet their soulmates that easily in real life. I mean, there's a lot of single people out there because they are they're trying to find their soulmates, but they just can't find them somehow. But I feel like it was just so easy for them. And also the fact that their parents, they were getting married, a 21-year-old getting married. He doesn't have a job, nothing. He just finished school. He doesn't have a job. He still lives in his parents' house, but they are getting married. Like, how are they supposed to live after that? That was another like funny thing I found about the movie. And also, I think their parents looks really young. Like, look at Akil's parents; they look like his brothers and his sisters. They were really, really young. Like, I don't know if you had to do a movie where there will be parents and children, grown kids. I mean, the decent thing to do is to get people who can actually, whose ages can actually fit the roles, because I feel like their parents looked really young. Same for the girl's father; he looked really young. Well, not that young, but he looked pretty young to have a granddaughter like that. But yeah, so those were the few turn offs I had about the movie. But I had not been saying, I feel like they actually did their thing. The acting was quite good. If I'm to grade their acting, I'll grade them like 7. I don't think there was any like greatest performance in the movie, because I feel like this wasn't a kind of story that needed you to do too much in any kind of role you're playing in. So I feel like I'll all grade them 7.5 um for their performances, for their acting performances in the movie, except for the girl's father. He no, his lines, when he was saying his lines, I felt like he was reciting them. So I'll grade everybody 7.5, but him, I'll grade him 6.5 for that. But I feel like altogether they did like as an ensemble, they at least did they didn't do they did fairly good. Yeah, in my opinion. Yeah, and I also felt like it's a YouTube movie. Like I said, in my last YouTube movie review, I feel like YouTube movies are low budget movies, so they don't uh spend too much on production costs. Like I saw, I noticed that there weren't a lot of scenes outside. It was the same remark I had for the last one. They don't have a lot of scenes outside in places outside. There was just this one scene when Akil and his girlfriend went to some off license. I don't know if it was a bar or a snack bar or a restaurant something, but they were out together. That's like the only thing I saw them out, and all other scenes were indoors, either in their apartments or in the hospital inside. They didn't even show us scenes outside the hospital. It was just mainly inside the hospital and in their apartments. And then a few scenes of them jogging, like when they're doing their sports, like jogging on the streets and that. So I feel like it was kind of like a low budget movie, which is okay. Which is okay. It's not really a big deal. Um, yeah. So that was it. But altogether, if I'm to grade this movie altogether on 10, I'll give it 6.9 on 10. 6.9 on 10. Yeah, because I feel like it was so predictable. Like it was your basic rom-com kind of story. Like a young couple, they meet each other, they fall in love. They're so deeply in love that nothing but death can separate them, and eventually death is going to separate them. However, one the person who is living was going to leave like a parting gift for their loved one, and in this case the parting gift was a son, which Akil left for his wife, because they eventually got married at the end. Yeah, so I feel like it was so predictable. I already knew when I watched the movie, like halfway through, I knew how it was going to end. So but yeah, 6.9 on 10. Yeah, so that's my take on Nightfall. Thank you for staying tuned to Sir-Kenneth's talk show. That was it for today's episode. I hope you did enjoy my review. I would like to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. Until then, stay tuned and don't miss another episode.